Hi Taurus, welcome to your weekly Tarotscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant.reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. It would mean everything. If you are already a continued subby, thank you so much for all of your continued support. It means the world. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the email address below. And before we start, I would like to bless both decks of my cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look at your destiny card for the week. So your destiny card is always about the overarching or overriding theme or energy or message for the week. And this week, Taurus, you get the Hanged Man. So when you get the Hanged Man, this is a card of enlightenment, but it's also a card of deep spirituality. This is about tapping into something that is beyond, something that is bigger and broader than we are. When you get the Hanged Man, I always say to people, what is the best way for you to achieve something that you want? Very often it's to do nothing and allow it to come to you. And you know, the thing is, you're a Taurus, you are a go-getter. You might not be the fastest go-getter in the zodiac, but you are a go-getter. You make things happen, and very often you make things happen by just being that slow and relentless sort of, you keep that goal in mind and you're very practical about its acquisition. Now when you get the Hanged Man, this is kind of a card of saying, right, okay, you know, it's like that, if you grab at somebody or something, they tend to kind of push away, because it's like, oh, nobody likes to be chased too much. Nobody likes to be, you know, it's kind of that age-old adage, like if you are constantly, you know, on an animal or a cat or a dog, they're like, oh, go away. But if you just kind of sit and you let them come to you, they tend to find that energy more enjoyable. They find it more conducive to, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is, your path this week is asking you to connect with your spirituality and relinquish your idea of control, to let go of this idea that I must go and make something happen. This is about letting something happen to or for you. And when you can do that, when you really put yourself in that state of, right, okay, I'm going to release this. It's, you know, one of the taglines for this card is consider it an exercise in detachment. Now, when I think of that, what I think is, you know, in fact, the words that I'm hearing is, they say if you love something, let it go, and if it comes back, you're sure to know. It's that kind of energy. Whatever goal, person or thing you are trying to achieve or to welcome into your life, let it go. Spiritually, let it go. Don't attach yourself to it. Don't attach yourself to the outcome. And by doing so, we very often arrive at the place that we wanted to be all along. So let's see what your direction card is. So your direction card is what gives this context. It fleshes it out, it gives it background, but it's also sometimes the best way to achieve the destiny card. So what you get is the Six of Swords. Look at that. So that's interesting, because the Six of Swords is about leaving something behind. It's about traveling from difficult waters into smoother ones. But sometimes it can say it's like you've allowed yourself, by letting go, you are arriving at somewhere that is closer to what it is that you want. And I'm kind of, the image that I'm seeing in my head actually is two magnets. You know, when you've got a magnet and you push it towards one type of magnet and it scatters away. Why is that? It's because it's because the polarity is wrong. So you need to ask yourself this week, if you can detach from something emotionally, like really detach from it emotionally and spiritually, you will come to one of two conclusions. One conclusion may well be, actually, it will come to me by really allowing myself to let it go. And two, by giving yourself enough space from it emotionally and spiritually, you may well realize that the reason it's not coming to you is because it's not meant for you. It's not meant to come to you, you know. And this is like, you know, when we hear the words, oh, you know, whatever's meant for you won't pass you by, and all those pithy sayings. You know what? I believe them, and sometimes they're really hard to hear, because you think, well, fuck that. I actually really want this. This is, you know, I'm not chasing it for the sake of it. But You have to consider that sometimes the universe really does know best. This is the whole point of co-creating your destiny. Sometimes you're meant to steer the wheel, and sometimes something bigger is meant to steer the wheel. And the reason being is because when we're in it, when we're attached to it and tied to the outcome, we can't always see that actually that thing that we want, that we're chasing so hard, is no good for us. It's not going to serve us. It's not going to serve our highest. So by really taking that time to detach and let go, the Six of Swords will take place. You will arrive at an understanding that tells you either, yes, it's meant for me, but I've got to let it go so that it can come to me, or I've got to let it go because it's actually not good for me. And by achieving or arriving at that destination, it would do me more harm than good. I might not be able to see that in the here and now, but something bigger knows that. Think of the magnet, you know, when it pushes the other magnet away, it's because those polarities, they're incompatible. So allow the universe to do some of the steering as well this week. Taurus, I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing week. I'll see you very soon for more videos. And also, as you've probably noticed, I am doing a countdown to something that for most will be really small, but for me it's really special. So stay tuned, and I really hope you love it as much as I have loved it into being. Take care.